Y'all see what's happening right here? That is a WNBA referee turning his back to Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Oh my God. I mean, he literally got his back turned, ignoring Caitlin. I mean, this is bad. This is bad. Man, I can't play it again. I cannot play this again, bro. I mean, guys, this is how the day went. This is how, bro, this just proved everybody point.
It's the kind of video that makes your stomach turn. Slow motion replay of Caitlin Clark, the face of women's basketball, getting slammed to the hardwood while everyone in the arena just stands there, stunned. She isn't just another player, she's the reason half the country even knows there's a WNBA season. But now, she's the latest casualty of a league that's suddenly famous for all the wrong reasons. Instead of highlight reels, fans are sharing clips of Clark taking hits from every direction. Where's the protection for the athlete who just broke every ratings record? All season, social media has begged the league to step in, and now, after another cheap shot, Clark's on the injured list, and people everywhere are asking the same question: is the WNBA more about bullying than basketball?
Look at this. Look at this. See that? Grabbing, physically grabbing her, applying pressure, pushing her. Look at Brittany Griner.
Finally, a player that's worth paying the money for. Caitlin Clark comes along. What do, WNBA? You beat her up. You treat her like crap. You treat her like she's dog doo-doo, dude. I never seen this in any sport, bro. Not even Jordan.
Let's cut through the noise. Caitlin Clark didn't tweak her quad during a light jog or a casual warm-up. This wasn't a random injury. It was the result of relentless, unchecked physicality on the court. Game after game, Clark faced aggressive defense that often crossed the line, with opponents treating her more like a tackling dummy than a basketball player. The referees, they stood by, whistles silent, as if they were watching a different sport altogether. The tipping point came on May 24th during a tight game against the New York Liberty. In the final seconds, Clark was driving to the basket when Liberty's Natasha made significant contact, knocking the ball loose and Clark off balance. No foul was called. Clark's frustration was palpable. She threw up her arms, shouted at the officials, and was visibly upset over the lack of a whistle. Her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, also approached the refs to protest the non-call. This incident wasn't isolated. Throughout the season, Clark has been subjected to a level of physicality that borders on excessive, with little to no intervention from officials. The league's most marketable star has been left to fend for herself, raising serious questions about player.
Already having a remarkable sophomore year, Caitlin Clark has been balling on so many levels, playing lights out basketball, and it looked like she could be making a running for this year's MVP. Well, I'm here to tell you all of that has been derailed because Caitlin Clark is injured, bro.
If you support Caitlin Clark, drop a "Caitlin is the GOAT" in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. It costs you nothing but gives us the energy to keep covering the latest news. On May 26, 2025, the Indiana Fever announced that Caitlin Clark would be sidelined for at least 2 weeks due to a left quadriceps strain. This injury marks the first significant setback in Clark's professional and collegiate basketball career, during which she had maintained a perfect attendance record. While the initial prognosis suggests a minimum 2-week absence, muscle injuries like quadriceps strains are notoriously unpredictable. Recovery timelines can vary, and there's a possibility that Clark's absence could extend beyond the initial estimate. The timing of this injury is particularly challenging for the Fever, who are navigating a critical early season stretch. Clark's absence not only impacts the team's on-court performance, but also affects the league's viewership and fan engagement, given her significant role in boosting the WNBA's popularity.
People are noting that a grade 1 quad strain is 1 to 2 weeks, a grade 2 quad strain is 3 to 6 weeks, and grade 3s would need surgery. This is not like the end of the world of injuries at all. I think what is so dark about this is that Caitlin Clark will definitely be missing a lot of basketball in a short WNBA season. Obviously, the best thing to do is to rest her so that when she does come back, she is fully healed and the injury can't get worse, though it is hard to measure when these types of injuries are better. better. I will say having a quadricep injury is much better than having like a calf injury or a hamstring injury. And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't like getting off, and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs. Her shot was just so obviously off, and for it to be short, it kind of makes a little sense.
While the Indiana Fever's official statement suggests Caitlin Clark's injury was just another unfortunate event in a demanding season, newly surfaced footage paints a starkly different picture. In the May 26th game against the Atlanta Dream, Clark was subjected to a series of aggressive plays that went far beyond standard defensive tactics. Players were seen making excessive contact, grabbing, pushing, and applying pressure in ways that resembled more of a wrestling match than a basketball game. The crowd's chants of "You're in Atlanta" seemed less about team spirit and more about endorsing the physical onslaught. This wasn't just competitive play, it was a systematic targeting of the league's most prominent star, all unfolding under the watchful eyes of officials who chose not to intervene. The lack of calls on these blatant fouls raises serious questions about the league's commitment to player safety and the integrity of the game.
Look at this. Look at how physical they are. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark has been in the weight room this season, but I'm telling you right now, there's only so much your body can take, man. Look at how close Ryan Howard playing her. This is crazy. And this is just one video. I got another one I want to show you guys as well.
Adding another layer to this troubling narrative, multiple sources, including attentive fans, have reported that Clark was seen using heating pads on her quadriceps during games for weeks, possibly dating back to the preseason. Consider this: a player who hadn't missed a single game since 2017, amassing 185 consecutive appearances across college and professional play, was relying on heating pads just to stay on the court. Instead of receiving the protection she deserved, Clark was subjected to relentless physical play, with referees turning a blind eye until her body could no longer endure the punishment.
It should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
The timing of Clark's injury couldn't be more detrimental to the WNBA, and the league is poised to feel the financial repercussions. Let's delve into the numbers. In 2024, out of 24 WNBA broadcasts that attracted over 1 million viewers, 21 featured Caitlin Clark. Games with her averaged 1.19 million viewers, while those without her struggled to reach 394,000, a staggering disparity. The immediate impact is evident. Ticket prices for the highly anticipated rematch between Clark and Angel Reese have plummeted by 42%, dropping from an average of $137 to $80 following the injury announcement. This isn't merely a price adjustment, it's a significant decline in demand, underscoring Clark's unparalleled influence on the league's popularity.
The Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, from $137 all the way down to $80. Now, it has been less than 48 hours since the announcement was made that Caitlin Clark would be out for at minimum 2 weeks. Get-in price for the Sky vs. Fever game on June 7th was $86 just 48 hours ago. Now it's down to $25 after Caitlin Clark's injury announcement.
Renowned sports commentator Stephen A. Smith aptly highlighted the situation, expressing keen interest in observing the WNBA's ratings during Clark's absence. He emphasized that a significant drop would confirm the league's heavy reliance on a single player, the very player they failed to protect. Smith stated, "If there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated." The recent Clark versus Reese matchup drew 2.7 million viewers, peaking at 3.1 million, the highest for a WNBA regular season game in 25 years. Now, the league faces the reality of operating without its primary attraction.
How big of a blow is this to the W?
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is valid.
The officiating in recent games has come under intense scrutiny, with Indiana Fever's head coach Stephanie White describing it as egregious and highlighting a staggering -31 free throw discrepancy in recent matches. She pointed out that the team isn't just taking perimeter shots but aggressively attacking the rim, only to be met with silence from the referees. A particularly glaring example occurred in a game against the New York Liberty, where Natasha made clear contact with Clark on the final possession. Despite the obvious foul, the referees remained silent, prompting immediate protests from Clark and her teammates. This pattern of selective officiating, where Clark is subjected to physical play without calls, has not only led to her injury, but is also eroding trust in the league's commitment to fair play.
I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. You know, a -31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim, and the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable.
Caitlin Clark's resilience on the court was nothing short of legendary. Before her recent injury, she was averaging 19.0 points, 9.3 assists, and 6.0 rebounds per game in the 2025 season. Remarkably, she maintained these numbers despite a noticeable dip in her three-point shooting percentage, which stood at 31%. This decline hinted at underlying physical issues, possibly the quadriceps strain that eventually sidelined her. Clark's dedication to the game, even while managing an injury, exemplifies her commitment to her team and the sport. Her decision to play through pain reflects a deep sense of responsibility and passion, qualities that have endeared her to fans and teammates alike. As the league navigates her absence, it's a stark reminder of the importance of player health and the need for robust support systems to ensure athletes can perform at their best without compromising their well-being.
It just ends their chances. And it diminishes the interest in the WNBA as a whole. If we're being, like, more than diminishes, is a devastating blow to the interest in the WNBA as a whole, due to the magnetism and the Clark effect. They were saying cautious approach before. Hopefully this is a proactive approach that will allow her to be more active and even more effective later in the year.
Caitlin Clark's injury has sent shockwaves through the WNBA, exposing the league's heavy reliance on her star power. The economic ramifications are stark. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games have plummeted, with some resale prices dropping over 80%. For instance, tickets for the Fever's June 7th game against the Chicago Sky fell from $86 to $22, highlighting Clark's significant impact on attendance and revenue. Beyond ticket sales, Clark's absence threatens the momentum the league has built. Her presence has been a driving force behind increased viewership and merchandise sales. Analysts estimate that Clark could generate an economic impact of over $1 billion for the WNBA in 2025. This figure underscores the league's dependence on her for financial growth. The Indiana Fever's investment in a new $78 million training facility, slated to open before the 2027 season, is a testament to Clark's influence. This state-of-the-art complex aims to enhance player performance and attract top talent, reflecting the team's commitment to capitalizing on the Caitlin Clark effect. However, the league's failure to protect its marquee player raises concerns about long-term sustainability. Clark's injury serves as a cautionary tale. Without adequate measures to safeguard star athletes, the WNBA risks undermining its own growth. The league must prioritize player safety to ensure that its rising popularity doesn't come at the expense of its most valuable assets.
Projections, we're looking at $875 million could easily eclipse $1 billion on her economic impact. Caitlin Clark entering the league last year was responsible for 26.5% of all of their economic activity. So revenue from merchandise, which again, with the CBA as it is currently, she doesn't see a dime of any of that. TV, and then ticket sales, obviously, which again, they don't get anything from that. We know that wherever she goes, she's selling out arenas. The ticket prices skyrocket. Like, even trying to get tickets to Carver Hawkeye Arena when they played the Brazilian national team at her old school was just insane prices. If she's going on the road, wherever she's going, ticket sales jumped by 140%. Average is $312. Like, that's crazy.
The commissioner's the worst commissioner in sports. She is horrible. She wants rivalries, this WWE style. Like, nobody wants to see that, Kathy. You're a horrible commissioner. You know what? Have some dignity and just resign today. You ruined this thing. You ruined a great thing. This could be the first time you don't need the NBA assistants to go in the green. But you're going to go in the red this year because you're an idiot. You're stupid, and the fans don't like this shit. We want to see quality basketball. Nobody's asking for Caitlin Clark to get a handout. We just want to see some fair refereeing, because these referees from Temu and Wayfair, they're garbage, bro. I seen better refereeing at a Pee Wee game, bro, at AAU. They suck. And then on top of that, the players, they're just not likable, man. They're not. That's the problem with the league. They're not likable. Caitlin Clark's like.
Before she got hurt, Clark was at the very top of the MVP race. Her name was everywhere, and betting odds showed she was the favorite. As soon as she was sidelined, everything flipped. Now people are talking about Physicality for MVP because she's been crushing it with big games for Minnesota. Clark's Iron Woman streak also ended. She hadn't missed a single game since high school, playing through pain and still delivering. Now with her out, the Fever are scrambling, fans are anxious, and everyone's watching to see if she can bounce back as soon as possible. Her possible return against Atlanta is circled on every calendar. The WNBA has never had this much attention riding on a single player coming back from an injury.
I don't know. And what does that overall do to the WNBA? This is your time to shine, ladies. I mean, the ladies of the WNBA have whined and moaned that it's not about one person. Well, okay, for a couple weeks, right here in the middle of it, you get a chance to prove that it's not only about one person. I don't know that that's great for the WNBA. Maybe the WNBA gets a little lesson in the importance of Caitlin Clark.
This whole saga is a giant red flag for the WNBA. The league finally had a superstar who made headlines everywhere and packed arenas coast to coast. Instead of keeping her safe, they let her take hit after hit until her body said no more. Now they're seeing what happens when your main attraction gets taken out. Fans bail, ticket sales drop, and the national buzz fades away. What should the league do? It's simple. Start looking out for the players who actually put people in the stands. Referees need to blow their whistles, coaches need to call out dirty plays, and everyone at the top needs to wake up before another star goes down. Clark's injury should be the lesson that changes how the WNBA treats its stars. Because if they let it happen again, it won't just be Clark leaving, it'll be the fans and the money too. Her comeback should be the spark that makes the league finally fix things, or next time, there might not be anyone left to cheer for.